you, Hudson Valley Community College. You've always done your best, and admirable best, I might say, to make Rensselaer County shine with the work that you do with the students and the adults that go through there. So it's very much appreciated. Keep up the good work, and we'll continue to support you as well. Thank you again. With that, we'll move to the next public hearing. The legislature is called to order, and we'll ask the clerk to call the roll for a public hearing in regards to the Economic Development Community Block Grant.
The attendance still stands at 17-1.
Any objections? Still stands. Okay. Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the legislature resolve itself into the committee of the whole for the purpose of conducting a public hearing.
Thank you, Vice Chairman Harrington. Hearing no objections, I hereby appoint the legislator Rob Bailey, Chair of the Legislative Committee on Planning and Tourism, to conduct a public hearing, and those other individuals on the committee. Thank you. That's you. And that's you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The clerk will read the notice of public hearing and enter the affidavits of publication into the record.
The Rensselaer County Legislature will hold a public hearing to discuss 2 proposed applications to be submitted to the New York State Office of Homes and Community Renewal, HCR, for 2018 Economic Development Community Block Grant, CDBG, in accordance with 24 CFR 570.486, New York State Citizen Participation Plan, and in compliance with the requirements of the Housing and Community Development Act of 1974, as amended. The CDBG program is administered by the New York State Office of Community Renewal, ORC, and will make available to eligible local governments approximately $20 million for the 2018 program year for housing, economic development, public facilities, public infrastructure, and planning activities, with the principal purpose of benefiting low to moderate income persons. The hearing will provide further information about the CDBG program and will allow the citizens' participation in the development of any proposed grant applications and/or to provide technical assistance to develop alternate proposals. Comments on the CDBG grant program or proposed projects will be received at this time. The public hearing will be held in the chambers of the Rensselaer County Legislature, located in the County Office Building, 1600 7th Ave, Troy, New York, on Tuesday, July 10th at 5:30 p.m. to explain the state's regulations, review program activities, and receive citizens' comments on the program's administration. All citizens are urged to attend and participate in the public hearing. Those requiring physical or lingual assistance to attend should contact 518-270-2914.
The public hearing to discuss 2 proposed applications to be submitted to the New York State Office of Homes and Community Renewal for 2018 Economic Development Community Development Block Grants is now open. The rules of the chair are as follows. First, anyone wishing to speak at the public hearing must sign in at the table at the entrance to the legislative chambers. When you're called upon to speak, please move quickly to the microphone, state your name and your address for the record. Are there any questions at this time? Is there anyone wishing to speak? I have 2 people signed up. Ben Seiden from LaBerge Group.
If it pleases the chair, I'd like to come together with Jack Longsteel.
He is also signed up. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, legislature. Good evening, everyone. The Office of Community Renewal accepts applications to help create jobs for low and moderate income household members that are participating in commercial activities. And we have been presented with 2 opportunities to help create 68 total new jobs by helping 2 businesses located in opposite corners of the county obtain funding from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development through OCR. The county legislature has authorized the county executive to sign the 2 applications. We hope to submit to the Office of Community Renewal And here with me this afternoon, of course, is Ben Seiden from the LaBerge Group. He'll explain the program. I'll tell you a little bit about the companies. The first of those two opportunities by a business called Hudson River Foods in Castleton. They relocated from Connecticut in 2015. The company bought and renovated to food grade standards the vacated former Hamilton Printing building on Route 9J. And now they want to expand that building to the tune of about $1.7 million and bring excuse me, another 44 manufacturing employees to that location. They've already got 25 there, and hopefully with this funding, they'll be able to do that. Secondly, there's in Hoosick, there's a building that the Rensselaer County owns, was taken back for taxes, and it's been abandoned. We've gotten an offer to acquire it and renovate it to the tune of $1 million. And so we are hoping to submit to OCR an application for approximately, what is it, $320,000, $345,000. There are 23 new jobs being promised. So those, in a nutshell, are the facts regarding those companies and the projects, and Ben can tell us about the program.
Thanks, Jack. And I want to take an opportunity to thank Rensselaer County, Jack, and Bob Pastel for everything you've been doing on behalf of the businesses here. Economic development is a very challenging thing to do in this environment, and especially in New York State. You guys have been reeling them in as of late.
Right.
So the OCR program, CDBG, the Community Development Block Grant. This program began in 1974 as a way for the federal government to help communities provide economic opportunities, housing assistance, public infrastructure assistance to communities all over the country. It wasn't until 1999 that New York State started administering their own program. Before 1999, it was only New York State and Hawaii. Everyone else was done by their states. So under George Pataki, when he was governor, New York State took over their program and began administrating it here. As part of this process, the state created an agency called the Office of Community Renewal. And they have two main parts of this. City of Troy, City of Albany, Town and Colony, places like that are 50,000 people or above. They're entitlement communities. They get money directly from the federal government, and they run their own programs. Everyone else has a competition. It's a statewide competition. For housing, it's in the fall. For public infrastructure and public facilities, those applications are due July 27th through the consolidated funding application. But for economic development, we realize that jobs are not created because of a grant deadline. Jobs are created through partnerships with government and businesses like you have here in Rensselaer County. So in New York State, through the OCR program, they have an open round process where they will assist in providing that gap financing in the form of a grant to businesses to the tune of $15,000 per job. So there are a couple of caveats. Number one is a business cannot directly get a grant from the state. It has to go through an eligible municipality or entity, in this case, Rensselaer County. In addition, I said the $15,000, so it's $15,000 per job, not to exceed 40% of the total project cost. So each one of these businesses that this county's been able to partner with, they're coming up with their own equity, bank financing, property, and they're making it work here in Rensselaer County. But to make that gap, they need your assistance to apply for that state grant program. Jack and Bob have worked diligently to make sure that there is zero cost to Rensselaer County in this. The applicants themselves, the businesses, take on the risk of the application costs. The administration of the program comes right out of the grant. But before you can actually apply, and it's a two-part process, you have to have a public hearing to ask for input on whether or not the county should be assisting in retrieving some of these funds and getting that tax rebate, if you believe it, coming back to Rensselaer County. So the process is twofold. One is you start with the pre-application. Once you have enough information about the jobs, about the budget, and you fill in information about the county, you submit an online application. Once that's in, the state has 10 days, it's really 30 days, but they return around in 10 days, to invite you to make an application. That application is due within 60 days of that letter of invitation. It's due the first Friday of the month preceding the month in which the Housing Trust Fund will review it. So if you put in the application on August 3rd, the potentiality to be reviewed would be in September for approval. And then you have 24 months to create the jobs. And that's what this county's been done very successfully in the past, and we hope to be able to do it again here. So that's basically the program in a nutshell. You already explained the actual businesses. So with that, we'll open it to the chair, to the committee, any questions you may have for the general public.
No, I'm fine. We discussed this in committee, but no, we're good with this.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
As before, I have to say this 3 times. Is there anybody wishing to speak on this proposal? Is there anybody else wishing to speak on this proposal? Is there anyone wishing to speak on this proposal? Hearing none, inasmuch as the persons present were given the opportunity to speak and explain state regulations, review eligibility, and propose program activities, and receive the citizens' comments and recommendations for the 2 applications to be submitted to the New York State Office of Homes and Community Renewal for Economic Development and Community Development Block Grants, and no one else desires to speak, I declare this public hearing closed at 6:08. Thank you for your participation.
Thank you, Tom. I knew it was my cue.
Do you have,
Okay, Legislator Bailey, thank you very much. We now move to the portion of this legislative body where of presentations. We have a number of presentations on the agenda for tonight. First presentation is P-270-118, a resolution adjourning the May 2018 Rensselaer County Legislative Meeting in memory of Irene Hegarty. And that's by Legislator Harrington and Casal. And former legislator Tom Walsh, would you please come down? And your family? I usually leave that up to the chair. This way you get over the points.
It's my honor to present this resolution. It's a resolution adjourning the May 2018 Rensselaer County Legislative Meeting in memory of Irene B. Hegarty. Whereas it is consistent with the duty of this legislative body to pay honor and respect to persons who have had a great impact and influence on Rensselaer County during their time on earth. And we remember with deepest respect and admiration the life of an individual whose singular example enriched the lives of their family, friends, fellow citizens, and whereas attended to such duties and fully in accord with its long-standing tradition, it is the intent of this legislative body to express a sincere sorrow upon the death of Irene B. Hegarty, which occurred on the 18th day of April of the year 2018, 1 month after her 100th birthday. And I had the honor of attending that birthday. Whereas the attendant to such duties and fully in accord with the long-standing tradition, I'm reading the same resolution. Whereas born in Troy, Irene was the daughter of the late Herbert J. and Jenny E. Jean Green King, and whereas Irene was a lifelong resident of Troy, except for 20 years when she lived in East Troy, Wisconsin. So she's always been a resident of Troy. Just a little different state, a couple different states. Whereas Irene worked hard for many years in many fields, including the Fuller Brush Company, as a crossing guard at St. Patrick's School in Troy, in culinary arts service at Edmund Willard School and LaSalle Institute, and as a nanny to the children of medical students from the Philippines. And whereas Irene enjoyed knitting, traveling, especially to Florida, but most of all enjoyed time with her cherished family. And whereas Irene was the proud mother of retired Rensselaer County legislator Thomas Walsh, daughter Arlene C. DeNova, and the late Anita Sylvester. And whereas Irene is survived by her husband of 48 years, William Bill Haggerty, and luckily they didn't name these, 12 grandchildren, 14 great-grandchildren, and 4 great-great-grandchildren, as well as several nieces and nephews. And whereas Irene B. Haggerty will be dearly missed by her family, her friends. They were blessed to have been able to celebrate Irene's 100th birthday together at a wonderful party at the Van Rensselaer Manor on March 18, 2018. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Rensselaer County Legislature conclude its deliberations in memory of Irene B. Haggerty and extend to our deepest sympathy to her family, fully confident that her contributions to her community will live on to serve as a legacy for all. And be it further resolved that the clerk of this legislature transmit a copy of this resolution suitably engrossed to the family of Irene B. Haggerty. So I would just like to say, with 30 surviving great-grandchildren, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and great-great-grandchildren, the memories of Irene Haggerty is going to be around here for a long, long time. You know, I knew Irene not extremely well, but I served for 20 years, I think, with Tom Walsh, her son. And, you know, that was, to me, that was probably one of her greatest contributions to this community there was. I miss Tom being here. Tom's a veteran, did a whale of a job with the veterans here, and I'm sure Irene was proud of that. And we were all proud of Tom. Tom, would you take a minute to say a couple words? Thank you.
I guess I can't miss the opportunity to say something. Must be the politician still in me. I want to thank the legislature for honoring my mom, and we were certainly proud of her. We were worried whether she was going to make that 100 years or not, but she did. And it's funny, you see my little dog there. I get all emotional. So I did this before, so when I was on the legislature, I can't talk too much when there's emotional things. But anyway, when my mom was not doing too good at the hospital, or at the manor, I was sitting alongside her in the bed, and she jumped over in the bed with her and cuddled. But she's a good little dog, and all the residents at Rensselaer County really enjoyed her. We still go up to see my stepfather. He's still there. And, you know, this county is very fortunate. We have 2 jewels in this county. One is the Hudson Valley Community College, which I had 3 of my kids went through it, and 2 of my grandchildren. I got 2 more grandchildren on the wings going to go there. And the other is the Van Rensselaer Manor. That is one of the most well-run organizations in this county, and that building is spotless. And when you go in that building, I don't care what it is, it's always clean. And the employees, I want to thank all the employees of Rensselaer County for all the work that they did and all the help that they gave my mom while she was there. They just had a ceremony up there where they honored all the deceased residents for the last year, and it was something like 22, was there? And I got a big kick out of this. I looked around, they had all the residents come down. Of course, most of them are in wheelchairs. They're actually older than me, believe it or not. And I looked around, I started counting. There was 10 of them asleep in the chairs. I got the biggest kick out of that. But anyway, I do want to thank the legislature for honoring my mom, and I'm glad I got through it without any more tears. And I want to thank you again.
Thank you, Tom. Dan, do you want to say a couple words?
It's along with Kenny and Chairman Stammel. I did go to and got invited to the 100th birthday party for Tom's mother, and it was a touching thing. I had a thing for Senator Marshall to give for 100 years, and the legislator had a thing for 100 years. But I had to go and stop at a card store and just read the card to Irene, and that meant so much to me, as you know, and shake her hand, and just and Tom, I took his place on the legislature, and I'm honored to be in his spot. And your mom must have been tremendous by you going away in service and worrying about you. So that's all I got to say, and God bless Irene.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just want to add one quick thing. Tom, even though he's not with the legislature anymore, Tom is a veteran, and if we have a time, every month we honor a vet here, a deceased veteran here at this legislative chambers, and Tom is nice enough to come down and still do something that he was a big part of for 20 years, is stand in and run that Honor a Vet show. So thank you, Tom. Okay, next. Oh, this chair's going to kill me. P 32218, a resolution recognizing Derek DeSanto upon being selected to the team of the USA Baseball tryouts in California. This resolution will be passed later because I know with Derek's schedule that he's going to be out playing ball all summer long. We probably won't get him next month, so we're going to do this now. Could I ask the family to come down? It's sponsored by myself. Come right over here, Derek. How you doing, buddy? Me in there. Come up. All righty. Hey, this is a pleasure, all right. Hand me my resolution, will you? I can down with you. Thank you, Mr. Danaher.
You're welcome.
Okay, this resolution recognizing Derek DeSanto upon being selected to the Team USA Baseball tryouts in California. It reads as such. The youth of today are our leaders of tomorrow. They are the very soul of our community, and it is the sense of this legislative body to recognize the efforts of those who are exceptionally exponential and will inspire others' youth and to emulate their achievements, thereby ensuring that the brighter future of our county. And whereas Derek DeSanto was recently completed 6th grade at Doane Stewart, has excelled in classroom, on the baseball field, and in his community. He embodies the true meaning of being a student athlete and being an honor student. Very good. That's first, the honor student. Them guys up there will tell you. While attending school, Derek has made an impact on his school community and his aspects. He is a member of the cross-country team and track team, and a drama club. Living in Rensselaer, drama? Never. Okay, whereas Derek started playing T-ball in Rensselaer Little League when he was just 3 years old. From that time, his talent has grown exponentially, and while in Rensselaer Little League, he also played in the Pee Wee division and international division. And whereas, in addition, Derek was a member of the Tri-City Bombers travel baseball team, the Devil Cats travel baseball team, and the New Jersey X-Men's travel baseball team. And whereas in his incredible abilities on the field earned him the invitation to a Team USA tryout in Fishkill, New York, Derek impressed the coaches with his stellar play and led him in being selected to the next level Team USA tryouts in California. He has received all these achievements all by the age of 12. Now therefore be resolved that the Rensselaer County Legislature is inspired by this young man's and his actions, and we look forward to seeing him as a young, outstanding leader do many more great things, and be it further resolved that the clerk of the legislature is hereby directed to transmit a copy of this resolution suitably engrossed to Derek DeSanto. I can only tell you that if, being up here, this whole family looks like your everyday family, and trust me, they are. They're an everyday family. There's no doubt about that, and that this young man is an exceptional athlete as well as an exceptional student, and we do expect a lot of things from him. I wish I had the opportunity to go see a lot of the games that he plays and watch him play, and being that we have this advantage of YouTube nowadays, that's just what I'm able to do, because his family does a good job. It might be a little jumpy watching him run around the field sometimes, but you get to see it on Facebook or something like that, watching him hit home run after home run, and it sure is an inspiration to us all here in Rensselaer County to watch him play ball. But I did have an opportunity to watch his father play, who I might say was an exceptional baseball player too, and I was proud to say that I was his coach at one time, and he was a good ball player. And he's here with his mother and his grandmother, and I just can't say enough about the things we really expect. Not to put a lot of pressure on you, Derek, but you just keep that low, cool demeanor, and you'll do just fine. I see it there already. Would you like to say something, Derek? Come on. Tell us where you're going to go next. Just tell us a little bit about it. Can you do that?
I don't know.
You don't know? Would you like to speak for him? Bill, say a few things? Come on, we want to film. Okay, you can see they're just like every other family out there. They just, oh no, keep the media away from me. Bill, Derek, we really appreciate the things that you do. We wish you the best. I want you to know that we in here in Rensselaer County are rooting for you. So just go out and play your game, and we'll be back here unless Dad's going to pay for us to go out. We'll be back here watching for you and wishing you the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nice to see you.
Oh, this thing is getting me. All the money we spent in this room last year, you think we would have bought a couple chairs, Next we have, let's see here. Let's see, nobody here. P279, did you have anybody show up for that? No? And nobody for 280? So that's it for, no. Nope, nobody here for 276 either. So therefore, that concludes the portion of our presentations for tonight's meeting. At this particular time, gives us an opportunity to allow the public to speak on agenda items only. And we have 4 people signed up for the meeting. This is a chance for anybody from the county to speak on resolution items. And they have 5 minutes to speak on those items. And we can start with a Kevin Pryor. Is there a Kevin here? Kevin, please come down. Welcome, Kevin.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Good evening, everybody. I'm here to speak on behalf of Carol Weaver about the work she does in our community, not only downtown of the city of Troy, but in the war zone. And the war zone is in North Central. I finally got to meet Carol to work with her a few months ago when we're trying to raise some money for our outside movie equipment where we can have more activities for our youth in the city of Troy. Miss Erin Tita, she was at a meeting. She said, hey, let's call Carol Weaver. And I heard that name before, but I didn't know where because we're at so many meetings. I run an organization here in the city of Troy called Troy Look, Inc. We have an anti-bullying prevention boxing program here in the city of Troy. We have a youth summer league basketball program here in the city of Troy. If you didn't know, we're on North Central Troy on 7th Avenue. Our anti-bullying program is at the Unity House on 2431 6th Avenue. It's a free program. As a matter of fact, all programs that we do are free because we have somebody like Carol Weaver who help us to raise funding to do these free programs for the youth. We just had came up with an idea to do movie night in the city of Troy once again. I started movie night in the city of Troy in 2000, I think it was 2000. We built a big screen out of 2x4s and plywood, and it was really heavy, so we couldn't take it any place else but the place we built it at. So we came up with an idea this year to do one, and we called Carol in, and Carol came in and humble as could be, not arrogant as I would have been if I had the experience that she has. I'd have went right in and said, okay, everybody just sit down, shut up, let me tell you how to do this. She came in, she sat down, she listened, and when it came time for her to speak, she said, I have an idea for you guys to raise some money, and you don't have to work so hard. So we all shut up and listened to what she was saying. So she came along and she brought her friends in, Erin Tita, Gary Pavlich, and she said, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to have a, what is it called again, Erin? The fundraiser? Penny Social. Never heard of it before in my life. What is a penny social? And she explained, hey, we're going to get some gift baskets and we're going to raffle them off. Okay, sell raffle tickets at the door. They can, they can bet on everything. And I was like, wow, this is really, really easy. So she said, your job is to get a place. So I'm a volunteer at the Troy Boys and Girls Club. I grew up there. So I called them. I said, we need to use the Boys and Girls Club to have a penny social. And the person that answered the phone didn't know what a penny social was neither. So I thought we were doomed. But anyways, they let us have the penny social there. And Carol, again, to her illness, she wasn't feeling good. She still took the lead, and she continued on. She gave me her number, which was the wrong thing in the world to do, because I call her for everything. I'll call and say, good morning, Carol, how are you? And then, oh yeah, I have this thing I need you to help me with. I gotta suck her in first. But she's always willing to help. And again, she's down in North Central Troy, where kids that a lot of you guys may not know of. You may see them on TV doing some things that they shouldn't be doing, but she's down there and she's battling with these kids, trying to help to give these kids hope, giving them hope to go to Hudson Valley one day. But she didn't have to do this. She did not have to do this. I'm here supporting Carol because I think she's a phenomenal person who just, you know what, she don't see anything but people. There's no color, it's just people. We're all people, and she feels so bad about the children in our community, so she came out because she see what I tried to do in our community, along with some other people in our community, to try to give these kids a chance to be children. And a lot of kids in North Central don't know how to be children. If you guys understand what I'm talking about, they have to wear that mask every day until they get on a bus that we take them out of the city of Troy. When they're on the bus, they're being kids because they don't have to have that image of being a bad guy now, because they're not with those so-called friends that get them to do things that they don't want to do. So she's here to help us, and that's why I'm here to help her, support her, because with no question asked, she called me and she just said, I just need you to just come down and support me if you can. And I said, you know what, right now we're on 7th Avenue at our opening day. We have 60 people down there right now, and they're texting me like, where are you? And I said, I'm down here. I think I'm a big shot. I'm down here at the Rensselaer County Legislation speaking on behalf of my friend Carol Weaver. But with this is the last thing. She's a phenomenal lady. Again, through her illness and everything, she stood up, she stayed strong, and she said, we're going to fight this fight. And that's all in the Bible. God said we all have to fight together. We can't be over here and over there and leave people left out, because 9/11, we come together. When there's no 9/11, we're all separated again, which we're all the same people. We always wait for something dramatic to happen for us to come back together. You know, Eddie McDonough and his staff, they always look out for us. They always ask us, we need something to in the community, hot dogs, a hamburger. That's all it takes. That's all it takes is just come down. Kids, they just want to see you guys come. Not only you guys, but everybody. They just want to see somebody come and say, you know what, hey, good job. You know, I know you're from Little League. I know you're from here. That's all you want to see. That just builds their hope. Well, I appreciate the time. Carol, I love you, and hopefully everything works out.
Thank you, Kevin, and thank you for all you do in the community yourself. Thank you. Next we have a Sam, I think it's Anderson? Addison. Okay, thank you. Welcome, Sam.
Hi, my name is Samantha Adkisson. I'm from Hope 7 Community Center, and I'm also here to talk about Carol Weaver and her volunteer activities with us. She has, for the past 3 or 4 years, come to our food pantries, Thanksgiving basket distribution, where we distribute over 130 baskets to families in need in our community. She volunteers at all of our events, all of our fundraisers, and she's served on our board for the last year. So she's a wonderful lady. She cares a lot about our community, and I'm here to support her. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sam. Next, we have a familiar name, Gary Pavlik. Gary? Where did he go? Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, thank you. Next, Robert Doherty. Good evening, Robert.
I'm Bob Doherty. I live at 1585 Tibbetts Avenue near the corner of Burdett. I'm a 3-term former council person in Troy. My last term, Carol became the leader for the Democrats. And I was new to politics, and I'm fairly new to Troy. But as the first speaker mentioned, she first oriented by monitoring what we did constantly. She'd be at the council observing and giving feedback from time to time. But why I came here tonight was to describe Carol in her style and her values. It's so often in our business, we go to meet with somebody over a particular issue. When you finish that issue, then it's open on who did what, who wants to do something 5 years from now, and what's somebody's private life, or there's so much unnecessarily personalizing of our business. I've never had a conversation like that with Carol, because she's focused on what we do. Her values are of the community. I've never asked her a question that I didn't get a very direct and full answer. And she greets differentness with interest. I've brought some people into Troy who were interested in aligning with us in varied ways. She received them well and openly and was curious. She asked bright questions, but her basic value is who she is. She's a good person. She's focused on what we do for the community. And I've had the privilege of getting petitions for her recently, in recent weeks. And the surprise to me is how universally positive people know her, who know her for many years. She is a first-rate, honest, decent, lovely person. She would be good for you, whichever side of the aisle you're on, because she's a reasonable and wonderful lady. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. We have no other speakers, so we'll move on to tonight's agenda. Call the meeting to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Bailey?
Here.
Mr. Bendet?
Here.
Mr. Burns?
Here.
Mr. Cassell?
Here.
Ms. Doran? Mr. Fiacco?
Here.
Mr. Fleming?
Here.
Mr. Grant?
Here.
Mr. Grimm? Mr. Harrington? Ms. Hoffman?
Here.
Mr. Leverage?
Here.
Mr. Patieri?
Here.
Mr. Peter?
Here.
Mr. Tessman?
Here.
Ms. Sullivan Tita? Mr. Wysocki?
Here.
Chairman Stammel?
Here.
17 present, 1 absent.
Okay, will Mr. Grant, invocation, please.
We gather together intent on doing good work. We seek to represent fairly and well those who have given us this task. Amen.
Legislator? Sorry, I had a cough there. I know I had something in my throat. Mr. Grimm, pledge allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mr. Harrington.
Mr. Chair, I move that we dispense with the reading of the minutes of the regular meeting of June 12, 2018, and approve the minutes as printed.
Motion made and second. All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Meeting agenda, I would ask that the legislator, the clerk, please call first P 345-18.
P 345-18, resolution filling a vacancy on the Rensselaer County Legislature, introduced by Chairman Stammel.
If I may,
Yes.
this resolution filling the vacancy on the Rensselaer County Legislature is the only minority who also entered a resolution to fill the spot in a timely manner. This came in a little late tonight in a late file. I'm happy to see that ours that was unnecessarily withdrawn in special rules still made it to the floor according to the rules of the legislature. I stand firm on our resolution appointing Carol Weaver for this position. The city of Troy, the residents of the city of Troy in the last election overwhelmingly voted for representation from 6 Democrats in the state. I mean, the percentages were, you could say, tremendous in the outcome of the vote. I think that the citizens of Troy should be, for this term, for which they voted for Democratic representation, for that to continue to be fulfilled along the lines of their expectations. So for that reason, I'm going to vote no on this. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anybody else?
Chairman?
Yes, sir, Mr. Harrington.
I'd just like to take this moment to say that, upon the loss of Ed Manning, the majority side of the legislature here decided that they were not going to fill that position, would not fill that position until election day and let the people make the choice. When the resolution came in from the opposite side of the aisle, we got together and decided, well, if they want to fill it, then I guess it would be filled. And our side of the aisle decided they would put up someone from this side of the aisle to fill it. So that's why it's a late file, and that's why it's out tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Harrington.
Mr. Chairman, if I may again, not too recently, or recently, there was a position open on the other side of the aisle. And it was for a position that was vacated by Mr. Ashby. When the resolution came to fill that position with the representation of his district had voted for, we unanimously agreed. I mean, it's a value thing that we're talking about here, and it isn't about a timing or anything like that. It's talking about the representation that the people of Rensselaer County have asked for in fulfilling the terms with the expectations that they have.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Mr. Bailey.
The person that we've chosen to choose, or to put on the legislature, was the next person when voted to the next highest vote getter was Harry Tutungent, but he backed out of this, and he refused to take the position. So the next person in line that did run was Kim McPherson, who we're putting up tonight.
Thank you. Okay. With that, I just want to add also that to stay with kind of a partisan type of, a nonpartisan type of selection here, that Ms. McPherson's a conservative, and she's welcome to sit on any side of the aisle she wants, anytime she wants, as well as you have conservatives on your side, as well as we do on ours, as well as independents. So with that, I ask the clerk to call the roll.
All those in favor?
All those in favor, yeah, I'm sorry. Aye. We don't, it's not a roll call. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
13-4.
Motion passed. At this particular time, I would ask Ms. McPherson to come down, and Deputy Clerk Greg DiGiulio, if he's in the house. And there he is.
Easily accessible.
You want to hold it? You got to swear in.
Yeah. Okay, you raise your right hand, please. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of Rensselaer County Legislature, District 1,
the duties of the Rensselaer County Legislature, District 1,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Sign right here, please. And I'll sign it, and you are good to go. Congratulations.
Thank you.
There you go, sit there. As always, buddy, it's a pleasure.
It's good
Put
to
in
see
for all
you.
the count time you can get.
That's it. Hey, it was good to see Billy DeSanto.
Yeah, wasn't that something? Welcome, Ms. McPherson, and I know you have had very little time to look over the agenda, but I know that we had asked if you had any questions on any of those resolutions. You feel pretty comfortable with them, so we will proceed and accept your vote as needed. Okay, as presented. Next, Resolution P32118, resolution honoring Rensselaer County veteran Joel Abla.
I'm just going to update the attendance is now 18.
Attendance is now...
P32118, resolution honoring Rensselaer County veteran Joel Abelov, introduced by legislators Stammel, Hoffman, Leverage, Harrington, Bailey, Bendet, Casal, Fiacco, Grant, Patiri, Peter, Testman, Wysocki, and Grimm.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yes, on the question.
I'd like to address this resolution.
Yes, sir.
I call for honoring any veteran that has served our country. I question, though, the timing of this. And there are other veterans in Rensselaer County that are running for political office at this time. And we could be honoring this and it could happen at a more appropriate time. So I think it's a little bit of a staging grandstand. So, but I am still, because I believe in honoring veterans, I'm going to vote this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Grimm, but I'm one of those who thinks that any chance you get to honor a veteran, no matter who it is and when it is a good time, and this is Mr. Abel's time. Thank you.
Did you get a vote on that?
Not yet.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 2.
Just 2. 16-2.
16-2. Resolution P32218, resolution recognizing Derek DeSanto upon being selected to the team of USA Baseball tryouts in California. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
18 ayes.
Thank you. Resolution P32318, resolution...
usually take.
Oh, yeah, that's right, she does it, yeah. I just get in a flow of things. Go right ahead.
P 32318, resolution recognizing Alana Carroll as Rensselaer County Legislature's July 2018 Young Outstanding Leader of the Month, introduced by legislators Bendet, Leverage, Peter, and the entire legislative body.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
18 ayes.
Just trying to move things along. I can read just as fast. Okay. Resolution P 32418.
P 32418, resolution recognizing the month of August as National Water Quality Month, introduced by legislators Grimm, Doran, Burns, Fleming, Sullivan, Tita, and the entire legislative body.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
18 ayes.
P 32518.
P 32518, resolution in support of the Girl Scouts of Northeastern New York grant applications, introduced by the legislators Grant, Bailey, Fiacco, Hoffman, and the entire legislative body.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
18 ayes.
So moved. G 32618.
G 32618, resolution adopting a budget for Hudson Valley Community College for the period of September 1st, 2018 through August 31st, 2019, introduced by legislators Casal, Bendet, and Doran.
Again, thank you, Hudson Valley, for all you do and continue the good work. And we're proud to say that we do have one of the best community colleges in New York State, thanks to your efforts. Thank you again. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
18 ayes.
G 32718.
G 32718, resolution authorizing payment of claim to Timothy Nugent, Esquire, as court-appointed Special District Attorney, County Attorney, introduced by legislators Testman, Grant, and Doran.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
18 ayes.
G 32818.
G 32818, resolution authorizing payment of claims to Matthew P. Foley, Esquire, as court-appointed Special District Attorney, County Attorney, introduced by legislators Testman, Grant, and Doran.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
18 ayes.
G 32918.
G 32918, resolution approving the Rensselaer County Investment Policy Bureau of Finance, introduced by legislators Leverage, Stammel, and Grimm.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
18 ayes.
G 33018.
G 33018, resolution confirming appointment of Brian J. Williams as Commissioner of Comprehensive Employment and Training, County Attorney, introduced by legislators Wysocki, Pateri, and Burns.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
18 ayes.
G 33118.
G 33118, resolution amending the 2018 Rensselaer County adopted budget, mental health and social services, introduced by legislators Grant, Testman, Sullivan, Tita.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
18 ayes.
G 33218.
G 33218, resolution authorizing a contract for a multi-jurisdictional hazard mitigation plan, Bureau of Public Safety, introduced by legislators Testman, Grant, and Doran.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
18 ayes.
G 333.
G 33318, resolution authorizing amendments to agreements and amending the 2018 Rensselaer County adopted budget, Department of Mental Health, introduced by legislators Grant, Testman, and Sullivan, Tita.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
18 ayes.
G 33418.
G 33418, resolution authorizing a contract with Cornell Cooperative Extension of Albany County Department of Health, introduced by legislators Leverage, Grant, Sullivan, Tita, Bendet, Casal, and Doran.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
18 ayes.
G 33518.
G 33518, resolution authorizing a contract with Cornell Cooperative Extension of Rensselaer County Department of Health, introduced by legislators Leverage, Grant, Sullivan, Tita, Bendet, Casal, and Doran.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
18 ayes.
G 33618.
G 33618, resolution amending the 2018 adopted Rensselaer County budget, Department of Probation, introduced by legislators Testman, Grant, and Doran.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
17 ayes, 1 abstention, Ms. Sullivan, Tita.
Okay. G 33718.
G 33718, resolution accepting grant funding from the New York State Department of Health for the Public Health Preparedness Grant and amending the 2018 adopted Rensselaer County budget, Department of Health, introduced by legislators Leverage, Grant, Sullivan, Tita, Bendet, Casal, and Doran.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
18 ayes.
G 33818.
G 33818, resolution amending the 2018 adopted Rensselaer County budget, Department of Health Medical Examiner, introduced by legislators Leverage, Stammel, and Grimm.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
18 ayes.
G 33918.
G 33918, resolution authorizing the conveyance of certain real property to the former owners listed below who paid tax arrearages in full prior to the scheduling of auction sale. Bureau of Finance, introduced by legislators Leverage, Stammel, and Grimm.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
18 ayes.
G 34018.
G 34018, resolution authorizing a lease securing storage area. County Clerk, introduced by legislators Leverage, Grant, Sullivan, Tita, Stammel, and Grimm.
Mr. Grimm.
If I may, on this resolution, I believe that we started discussing this over a year ago, and we knew that we had to move our storage to another location. And we were told at the time that we would be searching for a place that we could find something that's cheaper. What we're doing right now is we are under the gun because we have to move this right now. So, but the process we're just finding out about right now is that we are now moving into a place which is, no longer here at the county seat in the city of Troy, Grafton, and it is almost double the price of what we've been paying before. Find that, and I know that we discussed this in committee, and I know that we are going to continue to look for another place. This is temporary, but there is also a cost to moving this stuff in, moving this stuff out. And I feel like we're letting the taxpayers down here, with a little bit of the responsibility. The storage area, we were almost promised that they would find something cheaper a year ago. And yet, somebody didn't try hard enough. So, just wanted to thank you.
On a question? I just want to say, Mr. Grimm, that I know the current county exec in the purchasing department has worked very diligently in the last couple of months to try to find a cheaper place and a closer place. And even though their best efforts have failed, this is the best we could do at this particular time. Trust me, the majority is not pleased with what this is costing us, but there was no place cheaper that was going to provide us the service that we needed. And we were just stuck with what we're going to get until we either build a place of our own or the laws are relaxed a little bit for storage of some of this stuff, some of the stuff that you have to retain for so many years, that we can disseminate some of it out of storage. And as you well know, that a lot of this stuff is being held, a lot of this information now is on disk or on drives and computer banks, so therefore we don't have to keep as much paper. That's also going to diminish in the near future. We'd hope time catches up to us. I do appreciate your concern, and we're more than willing to work with the minority in finding a place that we can store this cheaper in the near future. But thank you for your comments. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? No.
So it's 15 ayes, 2 noes, and 1 abstention, Mr. Grimm.
Okay.
Aaron and Bobby? That's okay.
He's so quiet, he just didn't. Okay. P 341-18.
P 341-18, resolution appointing a trustee to Hudson Valley Community College, introduced by legislators Casal, Bendet, and Doran.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
18 ayes.
Welcome, Mr. Grant. Congratulations. P 342-18.
I believe this is now moot, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Grimm, do you want a formal vote on a moot resolution?
I believe it's worthless. Thank you.
All right.
Ask clerk to mark that resolution as moot. P 343-18.
P 343-18, resolution adjourning the July 10th, 2018 legislative meeting in memory of the Rensselaer County legislator, the Honorable Edward F. Manny III, introduced by legislators Grimm, Doran, Burns, Fleming, Sullivan, Tita, and the entire legislative body.
All in favor?
Aye. 18 ayes.
Thank you.
We've got one from special rules.
Yes.
G 344-18, resolution confirming the appointment of a member to the Rensselaer County Civil Service Commission,
right,
introduced by Chairman Stammel.
G344, all in favor? Aye. Opposed?
18 ayes.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for attending the public. Have a great evening. Get home safe. And motion to adjourn? Motion made, seconded? Aye. All in favor? See you later.
Well, hold on, I gotta...